What's up guys? So in today's video I'll be showing you guys the trade I entered yesterday and the one I'm entering today on EURUSD. As you can see, this will be my third trade on EURUSD. I took this first one, then this second one, then this third one right here. So basically the first trade, as you can see right here, price has almost tapped us into the trade. The first trade trade I took was this one from the higher time frame, which I already posted and you guys knew seen a video. So the second trade was I got the second trade from the 30-minute time frame, which is this one right here. Then let me explain the second trade before the third trade. Yeah, what happened on the 30-minute time frame? I saw price give me a double break of structure. Price took out this high right here, then price also took out this high right here, then price gave me this first value pullback from the, let me go back to the 30-minute time frame so to be clear. Okay, so let's zoom in so we can see where we got our analysis from. So my point of view says there must be a market rule shift or a double break of structure, which my rule says here. I saw price took out this high and also price took out this high, which was taken out by this bullish candlestick right here, this big bullish candlestick, giving us a double break of structure. Then my second point of view is your inducement. Your inducement is the first value pullback that happened after a market rule shift or a double break of structure. Then which one is my inducement? This is the first value pullback that happened after my point of interest has been given. So then the other one says pick the point of interest closer to your inducement. Which point of interest is closer to my inducement? Between this breaker block right here, this breaker block right here I've marked out, and this other breaker block right here. This one, which one is closer to my inducement? It's exactly this one right here. So that's why I picked this one as my point of interest, and as you can see what price did. See, we saw what price did. Price mitigated the point of interest and then went in our way. So this second trade I'm in currently on EURUSD2. Then let's go down to the higher time frame so I can explain the lower time frame to you guys. As you can see right here, there's also a flatter double break of structure. Price taking out this high one, then the other one. Market out for you guys so to be clear. The other one, two, which is also our double break of structure. Then the other one is your inducement. Your inducement is the first value pullback that happened after a market structure shift or a double break of structure. Which one is my inducement right here? This first value pullback. As you can see, this is the candlestick that took out this high and this high. And as you can see, the other candlestick that came out after this candlestick has been formed was this one right here, this bearish candlestick, black bearish candlestick. The candlestick didn't close up above this high, this big bullish candlestick. You see, as you can see right here, it tried, but it was just a weak closure. It didn't give us a body closure. Then you can see price give us a pullback right here to this zone. Then it went up and finally closed above this high. Then they see your POI should be unmitigated. When this move happened, this point of interest right here, was mitigated. We saw price mitigated this point of interest and bounced off it and went up. So this means that point of interest had been cancelled. Then this point of interest also right here has price just happened to my point of interest. So let me go and execute the trade. So I just got in for the trade, and as you can see, we're in a little bit of drawdown right here. So but I know I followed my plan and I executed according to my plan, and all we have to do is to wait for the trade to play out. So what happened was I saw price give us took out this high. Then this point of trade right here was mitigated by our inducement. Then the second unmitigated zone right here is this breaker block right here. So this one was automatically be disqualified. We can't use this as our point of interest. Then our point of interest closer to our inducement. Next point of interest closer to our inducement now is this breaker block right here. So that was exactly why I picked my entry from this breaker block right here. So as you price I just mitigated my point of interest, and then I went down to the lower time frame to then I have gone and executed the trade. That is all you have to do. So it's not that complicated. All you have to do is look for the pattern that price uses to approach your point of interest, then go and execute it. Even if you get stopped at, you know you followed your plan and you trade according to your plan. So let me go back to the 2 hour time frame to explain the trade, the second trade for you guys, so that you guys to see why I entered for the trade. So right here on the 2 hours time frame, what happened right here? Price was in a downtrend from the higher time frame. We saw price has been on a downtrend from the higher time frame, giving us a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, then a lower high, then a lower low, then a lower high, then a lower low, then a lower high, right here, lower low, lower high, then a lower low. So price mitigated my point of trade from the 4 hour time frame. Then I came back to the 1 hour time frame to look for my entry model. When I came back to the lower time frame, what did I see? I saw, as soon as price mitigated my point of trade, I saw right here, this was the last lower high that price gave. Then it gave us a market structure shift, which has indicated that this current trend has ended and a new one is about to begin in the opposite direction. Then the second point of trade says your inducement is the first value pullback after a market structure shift or a double break of structure. Which one is my inducement right here? This pullback. This pullback could have been my inducement. Why did I not pick this as my inducement? This black candlestick right here is because when this candlestick opened, it didn't close above this candlestick high. It was just a weak closure. As you can see right here, the both candlestick are of the same highs. The both candlestick body closure are of the same highs. So this weak right here was the only thing that closed above this high. The body did, which means this one is not counted as an inducement. Then this one came, pulled back to this zone and closed above the both high, giving us an inducement, confirming that yes, we have gotten our inducement. Then when the inducement came out, you see the inducement says it mitigated my point of interest. It mitigated this point of interest from the lower time frame. So let me look down to the rules again to see what rules again. First rule says right here, there must be an MSS or a double break of structure. What do we have right here? An MSS, a market structure shift. Then there must be an inducement protecting it. Which one our inducement? Your inducement is the first value pullback, which is this one right here. This is our inducement. Then you don't say the inducement or liquidity must not touch. It should not mitigate your point of interest. So what happened right here? We also that right here. There's also a rule that says if your candlestick wick is longer than the body, you pick your point of interest from the candlestick body. Then if the body is longer than the wick, you pick your point of interest from the wick and the body. You get, let me come again. If the candlestick wick, as this candlestick is now, the wick is longer than the body. So I pick my point of interest starting from the body to the end of this zone right here. As you can see, price also mitigated this body and went up right here. Mitigated the candlestick body and went up. Then even if this inducement mitigated this candlestick wick, it's not counted as a unvalid POI because it's just a wick. A wick is just I don't count wick as the point of interest. It's just a wick. So then if this inducement came and tapped into this point of interest right here, let me mark it out for you guys. If this inducement came and mitigated this candlestick body, then I won't pick this point of interest. I'll pick this zone as my point of interest. My point of interest will now be this other block right here. But this inducement did not mitigate this zone right here. So which doesn't mean that this zone is still valid for us to pick our point of interest from. So the point of interest close to my inducement now is this breakout block right here. Then I pick my point of interest right here, as you can see. As soon as price mitigated this zone, what did it do? We also saw that price started going up in our way, Now, currently I took my first trade. Even in the 2 hour time frame, the double break of structure is still showing. So let's go back to the 15-minute time frame and see what the trade is doing. As you can see right here, this is live trade. This is not just I just executed this trade right here. I just executed this trade. As you can see, what did price do? As soon as price mitigated our point of interest, what did he do? We see price reversing up, double break of structure, then inducement, then liquidity protecting it. This liquidity right here. Then our point of interest close to our inducement, which is this breaker. Price has mitigated our point of interest right here. What is price doing? Price is giving us this reversal right here. Price is going back up. So having a clear plan and following your plan is the only thing you have to do. To follow your plan your trade and trade your plan. And my take profit also is right here. My take profit also is right at this high, the same high. That's my take profit. So as you can see right here, my first trade, which is this one right here, this is my first trade from the higher time frame. Then I came back to the lower time frame, start picking a pot of trades on 1 to 14, 1 to 16, and I know this trade is going to hit my take profit. Just with time, it's going to hit my take profit. So I hope you guys learned and enjoyed this video, and comment down below what you think about the video. Also, if this is your first time seeing my video, please do it to subscribe, and it will really help me a lot. And we are just starting out, so we have to grow, and my goal is to hit 10k subscribers before the end of the year. So just let's do it. Thanks. Peace.